this next guy doesn't need an introduction. Yes, Santa Claus is here. Well, good morning, Santa.
Good morning.
Well, you are the busiest man on earth right now.
That
so
is very
we
true.
are very glad that you've joined us. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
So are you exhausted? Just preparing
I will be tomorrow.
Yes, I'm sure. How do you keep all of your energy up?
Well, fortunately, it's kind of synergy, not energy. All the children have so much energy that Santa just kind of lives off of that energy.
There you
and
go.
That
That gives you
get through the night. If it weren't for the children and the children who believe and are so excited about Christmas coming tomorrow, I think Santa would have a harder time.
Absolutely. So they give you the energy by believing and being good throughout the year as well. Now let me ask you this. How do you keep track of who wants what for Christmas? There's so many good boys and girls out there. How do you keep track of it?
Well, I have a lot of elves helping me. Okay, it's very important. And you know, some of them, my scout elves, hang out in the houses and keep track, and we have a lot of record keeping up at the North Pole, and it's a long list, and we have to check that list, and the song says checking it twice. It's more like 4, 5, 6, 7 times these days, because we don't want to make a mistake.
That's right. So how is Mrs. Claus doing?
No, she's doing very well, but she's getting tired too.
Yeah. She's just as busy as you.
Yes, she is. She's helping with wrapping, making sure the elves are in line, while I'm down here getting orders from the children and finding out what they want.
And Rudolph and all the other reindeers.
Well, Rudolph is doing well, but the other reindeer get jealous because everyone only asks about Rudolph.
I know, and Rudolph has a song named after him.
Yes.
But they're in the song. I guess their names are in the song, so that's good
well,
too.
the first part that the children never remember.
That's right.
So.
Hey, let me ask you, what were you like as a kid, Santa?
Oh, that was so long ago.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I'm sure you were a good kid.
Well, yeah. Well,
Have you always been so jolly and happy?
Well, there have been times Santa hasn't been quite so happy, but,
when you find out about the bad little boys and girls.
Well, the children who don't behave make Santa unhappy. But, there's other things that happen that Santa sheds a lot of tears when he hears about bad things happening to children. But in terms of Santa being a child, well, that was so long ago.
I'm sure you've always been good in every way.
Santa had a good childhood, and Santa learned to be very giving when he was young. So, and has always used what he has to give what he can to those who need it.
Well, Santa, you are so wonderful, and we are just so excited to have you here again, the busiest person on earth. So we're glad that you're here, and we're going to be having Santa recite The Night Before Christmas in just a bit.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in the hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and Pa in his cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there rose such a clatter, Pa sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window he flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to Pa's wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, Pa knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers he came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Dunder and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away all. as dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling, Pa heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As Pa pulled in his head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his soot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. And Pa laughed when he saw him in spite of himself. A wink of the eye and a twist of the head soon gave Pa to know he had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down